It began with violence, a world. In the beginning, there was nothing.
Only dust and gas, drifting through endless space.
Until gravity began to pull everything together. A silent force shaping the chaos. And then, a star was born.
A system began to form.
Small fragments became something more.
Collisions shaped the future. One of them would become our home. But it was nothing like today. It was a world of fire. The air was toxic and deadly. The bombardment never stopped. The surface constantly destroyed. A sea of fire without end. Temperatures beyond imagination. Water existed, but only as vapor. Slowly, the fire began to fade. A fragile surface on a violent world. Step closer, and you would burn in seconds.
The surface could not hold. It broke apart under relentless heat.
Volcanoes ruled the world, unleashing constant fury. The air itself was deadly. Lightning tore through the skies. And destruction rained from above. This was not a world. It was an inferno.
The chaos began to slow, ever so slightly.
Heat gave way to solid ground. Vapor filled the sky. A hellish sky began to form. And within the clouds, something began to change.
Rain fell, but could not survive.
Water returned, only to vanish again. A cycle was born, endless and relentless.
Rain fell without mercy, but the heat still ruled.
The sky became heavier, thicker, trapping the world beneath it. and slowly the fire began to weaken. For the briefest moment, water began to remain. The balance was changing, slowly, inevitably. Fragile plates began to form across the surface.
But they were unstable, constantly breaking apart.
Fire still ruled the young Earth.
A relentless cycle, creation and destruction.
Until, slowly, stability began to emerge. The sky filled with vapor. The air began to cool. Vapor turned in liquid. The first drops were born. For the first time, water did not vanish. It gathered, it moved, it began to shape the world.
Rain fell, again and again. But the earth was still too hot to hold it. A cycle without end. Water rose, fell, and vanished. But with every drop, the world was changing.
At last, water began to endure. It gathered, it settled, forming for the first time. The water did not vanish.
The transcription is, it gathered, flowing across the land, carving its path into a newborn world. Lakes became seas, and seas began to rise. The first oceans were being born.
The waters spread, merging, endless and unstoppable.
From fire came water, and from water, a new world was born.
The oceans spread, but the earth was still releasing its heat.
Rain fell without end, feeding the growing seas. Storms ruled the planet, shaping a world in constant motion. In the silence of space, another world was approaching, a drifting giant. The oceans continued to grow. The oceans were not still. They moved with immense power.
A heavy sky formed, pressing down upon a restless world.
A giant is tearing the world apart before impact. Far beyond the young Earth, something was already on its way.
It was not random. It was inevitable. It was coming closer, drawn by gravity, unstoppable.
Two worlds on a collision course.
And then, impact.
The planet shattered under unimaginable force.
Fire was thrown into the heavens. And the world was never the same. same again.
The impact shattered the world, tearing it apart in an instant.
Fragments of a broken planet cast into the void, bound by gravity. From the chaos, a new form began to emerge.
From destruction came creation.
Gravity began to gather the fragments. A new body was taking shape, forged in fire, born from destruction. The chaos began to settle. And the fire slowly faded. Two worlds now bound together. The violence gave way to balance.
And for the first time, peace appeared between Earth and the Moon, a newly formed planet.
A new world had been born. From chaos came order. And from that moment, the story of life was ready to begin.